Hi at all, it's LFC dot Liverpool. No, it's not. It's FC dot Liverpool. That's my initials, by the way. FC, not LFC. My mother could have named me Lewis Francis, couldn't she? I could have been LFC. And I've got the great George on. I love this man. I really love this man because he's such a he's a human being. I know that sounds daft, but you know, lately we've been talking about humanity, and this man has got such a gentle disposition about him, and when he talks a lot of sense, and he's not afraid to say anything either. If anything's going wrong at LFC, say like a certain player or whatever, he'd say it because he's not afraid. He does cover, and don't forget, he's still in touch with all his old ex-players mates. He was having dinner with the likes of Chris Lawler, for example, and Ian Kelly. So he's still mixing with them all. He's still mixing with all the lads, going out for dinners and bottles of scotch and everything. Not glasses of scotch, but bottles of scotch for our George. Anyway, and I've got bars of flowers on. Anyway, I'm going to bring our George on, and there he is. I'm waiting for him to say, listen, I'm going to climb Ben Nevis. I'm waiting for him to say that because I know he can't say it. Honestly, there he is. There he is. It's our George.
I've already climbed Ben Nevis, Frank. I've done that. That's all.
Oh, yeah, really?
Quite a number of years ago.
What do I know? What do I know, George? What do I know? That's great.
How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm a lot better now, and I'm in fine fettle. As you can see, even Jason said to me, "You're in fine fettle there. You've come out of whatever you've been in, and so I am."
Yeah, you look well. You look well. I've been up to the hospital today myself. I've been getting a couple of operations today. I've had cancerous lesion taken out of my arm. I've had one taken out of my nose and one taken out of my neck. So I've been busy today up at the hospital. But they're all okay. They're all okay. I've had it done before on my head, and these ones are not as bad.
Are you okay to carry on? I mean, with the show.
Oh yeah. It's just I've got a bandage on my arm, and I've got 10 stitches in my arm. But there's only a couple of small excisions, and one on my nose and one on my neck. But you see that. But I'm fine. I'm good. Yeah, no problem, Frank. No problem.
Oh, that's brilliant. Honestly, that is good news. We always get good news somewhere along the line. And,
they're all right. They're all out and gone, so that's all right. No problem.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. I'm really made up. A friend of mine called me. She's an old neighbour, from years ago when we were growing up.
Yeah.
And she phoned me a couple of weeks ago, and she said that she was going into Aussie to have all these tests and things. She was actually seeing the same surgeon as I seen, up at Aintree there, the elective care unit. And she phoned me today. She said, I'm all clear. I said,
great stuff.
That's great news.
Yeah, it is. Brilliant.
I'm delighted with that. You've just hit the nail on it. So that's trades. Always runs in threes. Me.
That's right. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. We all neighbour and you.
Yeah, I had a pretty major operation about 3 years ago in my head. That was quite a major one. These are only small ones. It's not a problem. The little baby ones, they've gone now. The history.
Yeah. Well, that's all we need, isn't it? It's like myself with that aneurysm. And,
I think what it was, I was playing football in South Africa when I was very young. And of course, you're playing in Johannesburg and Durban and Cape Town, and it's 80, 90 degrees sometimes out there, and you're running around without suntan lotion on. And being a fairly fair-skinned person, it comes out later on, you get these little lesions that occasionally come out. You just have to keep on top of them, So that's what caused it in the beginning. But I'm fine. There's nothing going to go wrong with me now. I'll be 80 next year, so not much can harm me now.
You'll be 80 next year. 80.
Anybody that lives to 80 has had a good life, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm telling you now. I think you're just a couple of years older than the vase of flowers here, Lee.
He's only a baby.
He's only a baby, yeah.
How are you, Lee?
Hi, George.
Good to see you.
Okay, Lee?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Good,
so listen, lads, the Man United game. George, how was your feelings about the Man United game when you were looking at it? What was
I would sum it up like most people. Frustrating, Frank. It was very frustrating. I mean, looking at the press, a lot of it is very complimentary to Man United, and to some extent I can see why. I mean, they had a lot to prove. They've been battered twice in succession, and they got injuries, and they came to put a wall up. They didn't really come. I agree with Virgil van Dijk. They didn't really come to try and win the game. It didn't appear to me that anyway. They had one chance, I think. Well, maybe two. From breakaways. The rest of the game, they were just a defensive unit, and Liverpool were trying to break them down. I think we were making the wrong choices up front. We were passing when we should shoot and shooting when we should pass, and passes were going a little bit astray. So we definitely weren't at our best, but we were completely dominated the game. And if Trent's shot had just gone the other side of the post, I think we'd have probably won about 3-0. But, fair play to United. They got the point, and it was frustrating for Liverpool fans. Certainly frustrating for me, because we had a chance to go top at Christmas. We had a chance to go 6 points ahead of City. And in a way, we blew it a bit. I mean, I don't think you're going to be too happy with it. I know the players weren't, and the fans obviously are frustrated. But we're still only a game away from being top at Christmas.
Yeah, well, we can rectify that come the weekend. Yeah. And then we will be top at Christmas. And you know what they always say? If whoever's leading in the Premiership, they'll win the league.
Yeah.
They'll win the league. That's what
it was frustrating, because Man City, I think, are still our biggest challengers. Or we're their biggest challengers, and we could have went 6 points ahead, and we still got to play them at Anfield, and that would have been a big mountain for them to climb, I think. But Arsenal, I think, are a great side, but I'm not quite so sure that they'll be there at the end. I think, we could beat them next Saturday. I think I'd be thinking we can go out and beat them.
Well, not funny enough, to be honest. I had Lee with me, and we were sitting down. I think we were holding hands, weren't we, Lee, watching the game? So we were side by side, because we had a telly situated, and we were sitting side by side.
Yeah, I've seen it.
He said, okay, I'll ask your take, Lee, on the game, just like I asked George as you were looking at it. I know what you were saying, but let the viewers and let George know what your take was on it.
I can't remember if it was that bad. All I can remember is Trent's shot, which Trent hit that shot too well, didn't he? He hit it too well. It was almost perfect, wasn't it, that shot? It just veered away right at the end. And the other bit I remember was when Costas took that free kick from the right. And apart from that, the rest of the game's gone. It's a blank, George. I can't remember the rest of it. But it does show how far we've come, that we're disappointed to draw 0-0 with Man United.
Exactly. Yes. And United are happy with a draw, scrambled
draw.
Did you see how their pundits reacted? Like people like Neville and everyone, they're made up secretly, aren't they?
He was coming out with nonsense like the Anfield atmosphere and all that nonsense, like he always does. I was disappointed in that effort from centre half. When he turned in the box. And he passed it straight to the goalkeeper. And that was a great chance. He just had to side foot it in the corner.
Yeah.
Obviously did his best, but I mean, it was disappointing. It was a poor effort. And a lot of our shots were quite poor shots, really. The goalkeeper.
What we were saying, George, we were just, the weight of the ball was just too much.
Yeah.
It was running away from the player, running onto the player, or the player running onto it. It was just too heavy. And we did a lot of that during the game. And also, Trent didn't have his passing boots on either, if you know what I mean. He didn't have
From
his
very early on, it had the look of a game without a goal, didn't it? From very early on, it looked like one of them games, didn't it?
Yeah. If we could have got an early goal, I think we would have went to town. But I mean, the longer it went on, it made it more difficult because they packed the defence, and they played quite well in defence. So give them credit for that. But it's not a difficult thing to do when you're all back in defence, and we are not at our best.
Well, I said to Lee before the game, I said, these are going to park the bus. These will park the bus. And Lee said, well, yeah, because there's nothing else to do. That's
exactly.
the only way. You can't play Liverpool. You can't play them. No. Liverpool play them off the park every game, whether it's at Anfield or whether it's Old Trafford. So park the bus. Okay, I'll just go through a couple of comments, if you don't mind, boys.
Yeah.
And Brian Edley says, even into Liverpool's finest too. Oh, to hell, yous are both fine here, lads. Plenty of other nights to do this great show. Read that in your book, George, about the South African sun. Good to see you got a shave, Frank. Stephen, yeah, you got Stephen, yeah. Shane McGowan sends us bevies. Look, 3 pints there off Shane. Good evening, Shane.
Evening, Shane.
Norman. G'day, Frank. Put another shrimp on the barbie. I don't know what's all this about. And Brian says, it's not that the lads aren't trying. We all know they give 100% all the time. It still was a Liverpool United match, and it's so hard for any team to break down 11 men. But I wish Jurgen would move the front three around more. Far too static and easy. Yeah. That's it. I think that's a very good shout. And JK says, bless Frank, George and Lee, you never walk alone. I will come on, just have to finish off a few things. Excellent, JK, because the link's there for you. And Paddy Brown, I haven't heard Paddy for yonks. Hi guys, hope you're all well. Hiya, Paddy.
Hey, Paddy.
And Paul Burke, good evening, boys. What I find worrying of late is how many times Nunes is what we were saying to you. Gets caught off the offside. Our forwards usually onto this. What do you think, lads? And we will talk about that. So, what do you think? What do you think about him?
Nunes
getting caught offside constantly.
Yeah. Constantly. He's not looking along the line, is he? He's been a bit too anxious to get on the shoulder of the last attacker. He needs to just think a bit more clearly. And I think that's one of his problems. He doesn't think. He needs to rush around a little bit, 100% all the time, chasing. Maybe just calm down a bit and think. He's a bit of an enigma. I'm convinced he'll score goals. And we need to persevere with him because he's quick and he's a goal scorer. But last 5 games, he's not been quite as good as he was before that. And the other one that disappoints me, Frank, is Szoboszlai, because I thought Szoboszlai was awful. And I don't know what's happened to him in the last few games. You look at the close-ups on TV, he looks a little bit wasted, And I just didn't think he contributed to the game at all. And that's unusual because he's been brilliant.
And yeah, I totally agree, because that's what Lee and I was saying during the game. He was awful. And what Lee said, around the 60th minute, by the way, it was, he said, now it's time to bring Harvey Elliott on for Szoboszlai. Yeah. So we were watching the game, and to bring, well, we'll go on about that a bit later on, because it was so frustrating. It was very frustrating watch. And as you said, though, as Lee said, we've come to a point where we're sorry that we only drew with Manchester United.
Yeah, we're streets ahead of them, light years ahead of them at the moment.
They're awful, them. We said that to me late during the game. I said,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Francine messaged me during half time. She was there. And she said, Dad, what do you think? I said, we'll stuff them in the second half. I really believed that we would stuff these in the second half. I really believed that. And we didn't.
The way some of our fan base have reacted, it's like we drew 0-0 at home to Luton or Sheffield United, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Charlie Wood. Evening, boys.
And Charlie.
And Norman says, I'm only giving an opinion. But in my view, Nunes is not an intelligent player and is easily niggled by opponents. Jota is who we missed on Sunday.
Nunes is low on confidence, isn't he? You can see that Nunes' goal drought has got him low on confidence. Like, I reckon we should put him out on the left wing, shouldn't we? And put Gakpo central. Why he's low on confidence. Let him use his pace out on the wing and let Gakpo play centrally.
I think Norman's right. Norman's right there that Nunes does get himself niggled. He went and he bumped against one of the players and for no reason shoved him, and he does get himself worked up a little bit. He wants to calm down a bit, in that sense.
Yeah, he does need to calm down.
I think he's only one more booking away from a ban.
Yeah.
He is.
And they'd all be for stupid things, not for tackles. They'd all be for kicking the ball away.
We are missing Jota. I agree with Norman there. Jota would be perfect in that position. He can find the goal, work the positions, and we're really missing him, I think.
Yeah, because he's our only natural goal scorer. I know that sounds daft, but he is. He's our only natural goal scorer, which sounds incredible.
We're a bit thin up front at the moment, aren't we? Because we've only really got Nunes, Salah, and Diaz. That's it. Apart from Doak and Gakpo, if he goes up front. So if anyone gets injured, who are you going to play striker?
Well, let's just go through these, and there's a couple of comments here. See what you think. And Brian Edley says Pep Lindsay said today, we were watching this, weren't we? Like, Pep Lindsay said today that Nunes is far better this year than last. If you take the goals away, helping out at the back, etc., hasn't scored in 10. And Szoboszlai looked knackered. That's what Brian says. And he also carries on by saying, is Carvalho coming back, lads, to play number 10? And evening, lads, hope you're all okay and in good spirits in spite of the poor show by our boys, says Arthur Schofield. And Mark Simon says, Szoboszlai was a second striker at Red Bull, and he was. But Klopp likes it to tinker with positions like Gakpo, who is a left-sided number 9, but goes in midfield or wherever. This is the problem. This is the problem with Klopp. He's done it for years. He did it with Gini Wijnaldum. When Gini Wijnaldum played for, his country, Holland, he was scoring goals nearly every international game. And he wasn't playing I thought Gini Wijnaldum was a great player.
No, he was.
He wasn't playing McAllister's not playing in his right position.
Yeah.
And neither is Szoboszlai. And this is what I don't understand. I just don't understand it. I really don't. But when you the likes of Norman, I do think Nunes has the raw potential to be a monster of a player. But he just needs to calm down, like what you said, George.
Yeah.
Compose himself and be a bit more savvy around his market. Absolutely. Yeah. And even what Brian says, Alisson's interview on LFC TV was spot on. think he was having a wee dig. I know where we are failing, and it needs sorted fast.
Yeah.
Now, this is what Allison said.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's so frustrating. And did you hear today, whether you read the news, that there's a new thing coming out during the World Cup about all the top European teams playing for, you know, a trophy.
Yeah, the World Cup, the World Club Cup.
World Cup, and Liverpool are not in it.
Yeah, because Chelsea and Man City have been in the final more recently than us. That's a disgrace. Liverpool's won the cup 6 times, have been in 9 finals.
Exactly.
They've been in 9 finals, won it 6 times. How can they leave Liverpool out of any competition like that? That's a total disgrace.
Of course it is. And who's behind this? See, I know UEFA, they must say to, like, Eredivisie and La Liga and, you know, Serie A, you know, pick your best teams.
I haven't heard about this.
Best teams. Sorry?
I haven't heard about this.
Yeah.
Yes, but, you know, I think the FA has gone into, you know, and said, pick the best European sides who's won the Champions League, because you can only be Champions League winners. Now, Manchester United were even picked.
No.
They've won more European Cups than
Is this like a computer game or something?
We've won 6 of them.
Yeah.
6 of them, and we weren't picked. I think
we won the World Club Champion. We won the World Club Championship a few years ago.
Yeah,
we won it, didn't we? Yeah, and this is a new one where they're doing like a knockout, just like a knockout. They'll pick all the best European teams with a history in the cup in recent years, and even teams like Saudi Arabian teams are playing at the moment.
Yeah, it saves it all, doesn't it? You know, so I think the FA says, you know, pick Chelsea, and I don't know. I just don't know. I might be talking.
The trouble is, Frank, it's worth a lot of money to Liverpool. It's worth 50 million or something.
Yes,
that competition next year, if you're in it and you win it. So they're going to lose a lot of revenue as well. That's another thing, you know.
But, you know, I know that you'll get some support to say, well, we don't want to play in that sort of.
Well, that's the point. Yeah. The extra fixtures.
Yeah, because the league will be on us, and, you know, we want to keep our players fresh and whatever. But I still think it stinks. I really do.
Yeah.
6 times. We won it a couple of years ago. We've been in that many finals. We've been in loads of finals, and it's just ludicrous. And I'm talking recent finals, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. Kiev.
Twice, you know what I mean? It's just absolutely ridiculous. It just gets to be honest. It really does. And haven't you heard about it, Lee? No?
No.
Yeah, it's the way it is. And Brian says, how are they going to get crowds for that? If City and Chelsea are at it, what a pack of, I can't see what he says there. we would take over Saudi, but more rest for our team than over the summer. Yes.
I agree. Yeah.
Because it's only a money ball thing, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and it starts about 3 weeks after the European Cup final. So if we're in the Europa League final, we'd have to start 3 weeks after that. We'd be heading to the other side of the world.
Yes.
And then start the season.
And as I want you to talk about this, George, and you. Are you all right, George?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, pull my socks up, Frank.
Oh, I thought you. I thought you might have been drinking that scotch, and it's got to your head the way you were like.
No, it's only water, I'm afraid.
Only water.
No alcohol for 2 days.
So you're on the wagon up to now. It's like I remember this fella, you know, he was smoking, and he said, "Packed up smoking," you know. I said, "Oh, have you?" He said, "Yeah." Until about half an hour, he said, "I'll have another one," then pack it up again.
Yeah.
Anyway, Norman says, I do think, and I want you to talk about this, George, and you, Lee. I do think Diaz is not playing well. He was tackles one. Hang on. He was tackles one by Anthony on Sunday, and looks unable to beat his marker. However, he is missing Robertson's overlaps, which gives him more space. I disagree there. I agree with him about Diaz, because I think Tsimikas is playing great.
I thought he's one of our best players. He was one of our best players.
Absolutely. And he's always overlapping and giving great balls in, by the way.
Yeah.
Great crosses.
A great game.
So what do you take on that, Lee?
The thing about Diaz and Nunes, they both played well when they went away with Uruguay and Colombia and both scored goals. I think Nunes got 3 and Diaz got 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They didn't just score in one game. I think they scored in both games when they were away. And then they come back and they haven't scored. So, I don't know. Like they were in not bad form before they left.
Yeah.
Because Diaz was playing well before he left. He got that goal that didn't count at Spurs. He got the good goal at Chelsea. He looked dangerous. Nunes was scoring. Don't know what's happened since they come back.
Yeah, he's a talented player, Diaz. I mean, he's not. I mean, it's interesting, really, because I think he's going to be he'll come good again because he's got pace. He tends to come inside a bit too much, I think.
Yeah, he doesn't go on his left foot, does he? He should
I'd like to see him go down the line more.
Cut it back on his left foot sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we pointed that out, didn't we, Lee? Remember when he had the ball, he was on the edge of the penalty area, and he only had to go left.
Yeah.
He only had to go left because the lad who was marking him, he was already going left. So he would have had him around, and he would have been in the area. And he went to the lad's direction.
Yeah.
He went right as the lads went left as well. And
he's got the pace. He's got the pace to go down the line.
Yeah.
He's got the pace. He can. I mean, we played against Everton. He got Young. Young got booked because he tripped him up. You couldn't match him for the pace. So he wants to go down the line more, I think, instead of coming in every time. Unless he wants to come in and have a shot, which fair enough, like. But as Lee said, he has scored a few goals recently as well, and one was disallowed. So he's still there. He's still there or thereabouts. Just Saturday was an unusual, unfortunate game.
Well, Arthur Schofield says, with regards to the way the players are behaving, the captain needs to be more imposing because he says, the likes of Carragher wouldn't have done this. Be more imposing. He voices it, you said. Carragher wouldn't stand by without voicing his opinions with their behaviour. And that's right. I don't know.
That's part of the captain's role, isn't it? That's part of the captain's role to be able to encourage and shout, pull people into position,
Yeah, absolutely. And Brian says, I could be wrong, lads, but I think the Reds get about 30 to 40 million when they go to America for pre-season anyway.
Yeah, could do.
Must probably be there. I haven't a clue, to be honest. And he carries on by saying, I think the old team now are just waiting on Trent producing the magic at the moment to get them over the line.
He was the one who nearly did, wasn't he, with that shot? He was the one who nearly pulled it out for us, like, with that shot.
Well, Brian compares Trent with Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, well, he might do in the end, but I mean, Gerrard's an exception, isn't he? Gerrard's an absolute exception. He's probably, him and Kenny Dalglish, probably the two greatest players we've had at the club.
Yeah, absolutely.
He carried Liverpool on his own shoulders for a couple of years.
Oh, he did, yeah.
A very good time.
He did carry, he dragged Liverpool through. And who could ever forget the final? unbelievable. Who could ever forget the goal against Olympiacos?
And the one at Wembley last minute in when was it? The year after Istanbul. They scored that. He was off the ground in the last minute, buried it in the corner.
No, that was Cardiff, I'm sure.
Cardiff, yeah, it was Cardiff. You're right, Frank. Yeah, it was Cardiff.
It was Cardiff,
What
yeah.
a goal that was. You know, I was at that game with my son, and that lifted us out of our seats.
Yeah, it was an incredible game. It's always been Liverpool. We never know when we've lost a game or drawn a game. You know, we always come back. We're always there. That's why we're mentality monsters, to be honest. And you know, it's just one of those things, really, where we look at Liverpool, and so as we mentioned, you know, we keep mentioning it, we were so disappointed playing Manchester United and not coming away with a win. I don't know what was more upsetting. Not finishing, you know, on top of the league, you know, the Premiership, by drawing, or just drawing with Man United. I just don't know what's more.
Just not beating them when we should have beat them. We were so superior to them, we should have beat them, you know.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of jealousy against Liverpool in the Premier League. I mean, they seem to always want to talk us down. You know, I mean, always need to concentrate on Arsenal or Man City or Liverpool on the radar. You know, but by the time we get to the end of the season, it'd be great if we were on top of the radar, have the last laugh.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brian says it's the same with Salah, lads. Gets pushed back into the middle all the time. Jürgen should have different patterns for this front line. Too predictable, easy for defenders now. What would you say about what would you say about that comment by Brian Edley?
Well, I think he's right. I'll just say that I think Salah's better on the right.
Yeah.
Coming in from the right wing causes a lot of problems.
I heard one podcaster saying, get rid of Salah now. Get rid of him. He's washed.
Is he on medication?
And I thought, you know, what a prat. What a prat he is. I wouldn't mention his name, but I just thought, what a prat he is.
Yeah.
Stupid man. Get rid of him, he's washed. And get rid of Nunes, he's also washed, you know. And these are people who think that they know about football, and they've got very short memories. And don't forget, Mo Salah is our leading goal scorer as we speak.
Yeah.
As we speak. And he's saying get rid of him, he's watched.
That was the first home game this season. The first home game this season, he hasn't scored or had an assist.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Absolutely right. And don't forget, you know, like everyone's on some Mo, and I mean everyone. He's our greatest asset at the moment, to be honest. Mo Salah. And a proper legend, So what's your take on that particular comment about the Salah gets pushed back into the middle? What do you think about that, Lee?
Brian's right about us being too predictable in attack sometimes, like that the attackers should change around a bit more positioning wise, like Nunes should go over to the left and Gakpo should come into the centre. I think Diaz should start on the bench for a few games now. And if Jota isn't fit to start for the next couple of games, I'd start with Gakpo in the centre and Nunes on the left. Because, I mean, Nunes has got all that pace to burn, hasn't he? Which means he can comfortably play on the wing. And he doesn't mind running at players. We've seen he likes running at players. So let Gakpo play in the middle. Why Nunes is short on confidence in front of goal? Let him play it, run at players wide, get at players. Let Gakpo play in the middle. Let Salah play on the right. And you know, see what happens against West Ham. Nunes isn't tired. He doesn't look tired. He just looks low on confidence to me.
Yeah.
So let's start that way against West Ham and Arsenal and see where we go.
I think that's a good call, that.
Yeah.
That is one for you, George. Norman, I don't think Tsimikas is playing bad, but he is not in the same league as Robertson. Robertson is far more agile, quick, and has better football intelligence, although Tsimikas does cross better.
Yeah, well, I mean, Robertson to me is a legend. I mean, he's part of that great team that's won everything. And we shouldn't forget what he's achieved in the game for Liverpool, how he rampages down the left wing and the things he's done, the assists he's made along with Trent. But at the moment, with him being injured, he can tend to be forgotten for a bit. And Tsimikas has taken his chance. He's came in the team, and the team hasn't really suffered, I don't think, a great deal by him being at left back. I think he's played really well. I made one mistake a few weeks ago, which people were having a go at him for, but since then he's played really well. He hasn't put a foot wrong.
I think he's been brilliant. I really think he's been brilliant.
Yeah.
And as Norman says, albeit he's a better crosser of a ball, absolutely he is. It's no use Robbo running down the wing and getting past players and then crossing, and it's the first player, the man, if you know what I mean, and it just breaks down. So I'm not sure. I haven't got anything against Robertson, I'm being honest. But when he comes back, he's going to be a little bit precarious, to be honest.
You have to fight. You have to fight to get his place back, really.
Yeah,
he's a slightly different player. I think a lot of his crosses are along the ground, and he's made a lot of goals, a lot of assists. If you look at his record on assists, it's very high over the last 5 years. Tsimikas tends to lift him more, go for the headers. He's a lovely crosser of the ball.
I think this rest might do him good, mightn't it? Because it's not like he's injured his leg or anything, is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's his shoulder.
Yeah. And he hasn't even injured his bank balance either. That's okay.
No, none of them do that, do they?
No, not at all.
Yeah, but he can still train. He can still train with a shoulder. He can still run, can he? He'll still be doing the muscles in the legs. Like Lee said, his muscles in his legs will still be active. And
But George, you're an ex-pro. You played under Shankly and that. Think about this, George. What I'm going to ask. Do you know if you get an injury like a bad shoulder injury, where you've had to have an operation, right? Do you think that you'll be a little bit more cautious about going into players and tackles and whatever? And if you know what I mean, having like shoulder to shoulder charges. Do you think you'd be a bit more cautious about doing that?
Well, I think naturally you probably would be, but the medical people will make sure before you get back on that field, all the scans will be done. They'll make sure the bone is healed completely, and they won't let him get on the field unless he's 100%. So, mentally, psychologically, for a while, that might be in your mind, like any injury.
So what do you think, Lee?
Just for a short while. I'd imagine that'd be in your mind for a little while, and then you'd forget about it, wouldn't you? After a bit.
Yeah. And Arthur says, honestly, when you're 3-0 down at half time in a final, it's game shot. Then your captain lifts you, and you go on and win. Stevie to the rescue.
Spot on.
No one could ever forget that.
No.
But if you look, we were talking about this bloody thing, this European Cup thing, and Chelsea over Liverpool and Man City over Liverpool as well. And what you've got is some of the most memorable finals that Liverpool have been in. Memorable. And, who could ever forget? As Maradona said, that's the best footballing final I've ever seen. Maradona said that.
Yeah.
He's
right. Yeah.
So, Do you think Mo has got one eye on the AFCON, George?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's in his mind at all. I think footballers play game to game. They play every game to win. In my history, when I've known footballers, nobody goes out there other than thinking of that 90 minutes.
What's your take, Lee?
Not really, no. I don't think so. You know what I was just thinking about then? Isn't it a shame that we don't play Man City at Anfield around the time that they were playing the Champions League semi-final or quarter-final?
Yeah.
We're playing them when they played Copenhagen. And
Yeah.
Copenhagen's not a big deal to them, They can play their reserves against Copenhagen. I wish we'd have played them in late April or early May.
And that always seems to happen to Liverpool, doesn't it, George? And we always seem to play, whether we were in a quarter-final or a semi-final, big hard teams, and we were playing, for something at the weekend.
He play Man United in the other derby as well around the time they play Copenhagen. They play Liverpool and Man United either side of one of the Copenhagen games.
Yeah. I say bring Man City on. We do well against them at Anfield, generally speaking, and we'll be up for that again. What do you think about this situation about the Anfield atmosphere at the moment? I'm reading a lot of people saying the atmosphere of the game wasn't as good because you've got a lot of people with cameras and a lot of tourists there and corporate hospitality, and the old cops lost its original meaning, and all this stuff coming out. Whether it's coming from Man United's fans, I don't know.
You could do with some of them standing areas where people can stand and sing.
Yeah, because I wasn't at the match on Saturday. I was just going by the telly, and the BBC, whoever does it, Sky, they seem to drown out you don't get the feeling of the atmosphere. Well, a lot of people have told me, my grandson told me the atmosphere was good, singing was strong.
That's what I was going to say, George. I'm waiting for you to finish. Francine said exactly the same. She said that it was great.
Yeah.
And she was in the Kenny stand.
Yeah.
She said it was great, the atmosphere. What's going on?
Gary Neville coming out with his stuff.
The Awakening Phoenix. What a name. The Awakening Phoenix. And he says, as you guys experienced last game, we lacked the ability to play well together. Our midfield especially simply not good enough, which also influences our attack, not creating anything. We were just talking about that before. It's the likes of the loss of form between vital players, the likes of Szoboszlai. We've got McAllister out. And even when he moved into midfield, Trent, he never had his passing boots on, did he, really? Some of the passes he gave was inadequate, for his standard, because he set such a high standard.
Yeah, I don't think our team's the finished article yet. It's still in process of building, really. And we're doing remarkably well to be where we are now with what we've got. I think, there's a lot more to come with after Christmas.
Well, Mark Simon says, Sky placed the microphones right next to the away end as usual. The Man United end.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's not, isn't it?
Sure.
I don't know. And as Brian says, Sky conspiracy crap again. The best and loudest fans in the world, and they know it. That was, as Francine and as your grandson said, it was loud. It was great atmosphere.
Yeah, especially the last 10 minutes. He said it was great. Last 10 minutes was really, because Liverpool looked like they were going to score. They were putting some pressure on there and missed a couple of chances.
Well, even the first half hour.
Yeah.
The crowd was, cheering them up.
Yeah.
because we did think that they were going to score. I think everybody thought they were going to score.
Yeah.
What did you think of Rangers today by
Is
saying?
that what they do, Sky? They put the microphones at the away end.
Yeah.
Honestly, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So they were shut up anyway. The United fans, they couldn't open their mouths because they were expecting a big score again because they were that bad.
Yeah.
Did you think, George? I'll just leave it. I'm just going to put the kettle on. I haven't had a cup of tea. So just talk about this between you and the lads and anyone on there if they feel like to comment. During the game, I thought we should have had a penalty. Can you remember it?
Handball.
Yeah.
It went under his arm. He had his arm out.
Yeah.
And what they say is, if you have your arm out, it's a penalty.
Yeah.
And he had his arm out, and it more or less got stuck between his arm and his, the inside, like by his belly.
They wanted it at Old Trafford.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't even. I mean, the rules now are quite specific. If the ball hits the hand, it's a penalty, isn't it? Or the arm.
It's a penalty, yeah.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's accidental or not, as far as I know. If your arm's in an unnatural position, which his was, it should have been a penalty, but it seemed to be glossed over. And they never even went to VAR. I don't even know if it went. Did it go to VAR?
Yeah, it did, but it was dead quick. It was like immediately jibbed off, as far as I can tell. It shows it as if they looked at it like it did, but it was really, really quick.
Yeah. How did you think Endo played, Lee? I thought he played quite well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Because of the way the game was, it was hard for him to look bad, wasn't it? It was hard for people to say, "Oh, we had a bad game." But yeah, I thought he did well. What he had to do, he done well, and that can only be good that he's getting more game time, can't it? Because it has been hard for him to get used to the pace, hasn't it? And it is harder for players in that position, isn't it, coming into this league? Because Fabinho did take time, didn't he?
Yeah. The only thing that worries me with him, and I said to my son the other day, the only thing that worries me, he has a tendency to get booked. I can see why, because he's an all-action player, and he doesn't hold back. He gets stuck in, and that booking him was a wee bit unfortunate because the other player put his head down. And Endo had his feet up a bit, and he got booked, But I thought it was really hilarious at the end when the United player got sent off. I mean, I thought he was having a heart attack the way he was throwing his arms around there. He got 2 yellow cards at the same time. He got sent off. It's crazy because he's now going to miss a game.
Yeah.
Some of these players, it's crazy. I mean, how they get into that position. Because there was nothing. It was the end of the game. It was the last minute. And he was appealing against the throw-in.
I missed it. I think I stood up or something. I stood up and walked around for a second, and I actually missed it. So
well, what happened was it was a throw-in, and it was a disputed throw-in. The referee gave it Liverpool's way, and he went ballistic. He started shouting, throwing his arms around, kicking around, shouting at the referee. Referee got the yellow card out, and he carried on shouting at him again. So he got another yellow card out, which became a red, and he was sent off. It was an injury time.
United are quite ill-disciplined in that regard, aren't they, when it comes to having a fit over minor decisions like throw-ins? I've seen that from quite a number of their players.
But it all comes from the captain, doesn't it, Fernandez? Because he's indisciplined. He's the biggest man in their team.
Yeah,
he's
that's an excellent point, Dan. It all stems from him, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. He's the man that sort of sets the standards, or he should do as captain. And that's where the discipline goes in their team. Yeah. We were just talking, Frank, about that guy getting sent off at the end for all that nonsense with the throw-in going against him in injury time.
It was the end of the game.
Yeah, I know.
To be sent off for that, it's ludicrous, isn't it? Like, it's ludicrous.
No, I fully understand that, but what if that would have happened to one of our players?
Yeah.
What if it would have happened to one of our players and acting to go doing all this? Remonstrating. No, Michael Oliver. I said to you before the game, Lee, didn't I? That Michael Oliver's the best referee in the Premiership, and he is.
Yeah.
And he's not going to take any flack off him. Soft lad.
He was brilliant.
And he just sent him off. Ends off.
Oh, they've got all these injuries. Now they've got him banned for the next game. If I was a manager, I'd be absolutely furious if it was our team and one of our players.
Well, all right. West Ham will be tough. Bowen, Kudus, and Paqueta worry me in this game. George.
Yeah, they're good players. This Kudus looks a good player. Scored 2 goals at the weekend. And Bowen also scored. He's a good player as well. But at the end of the day, they're all tough games. They've all got good players. From City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea. Doesn't matter who they are. They come to Anfield, they get beat, or we don't lose. Generally
I'm really looking forward to facing them players after playing United, showing no. I mean, this is a cup tie, so they've got to try and attack us, haven't they?
Yeah. That's where we're at our best because we can break. We can get, if players they come at us, we can get the goals on the break. Where the game on Saturday was the other way around, wasn't it? We were doing the attack and trying to break them down.
Well, that's you noticed the last few games they have been parking the bus, but anyone who attacks us, we can play them.
Yeah,
we're a footballing side, and we can play a footballing side. But we've got no plan B, unfortunately, for these people who, for these teams that park the bus and just 11 men behind the ball, which is, you know what I mean? It's very hard. It's very hard for us to get through and break them down.
Is this game a one-off, Frank? Is it penalties at the end, or is it a replay?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it is penalties at the end.
Yeah. We've got to get a result then, yeah.
Yeah, we've got to get a result. So what kind of team would you put out, George?
Well, I think, again, Trent at the back. Possibly play Kwanzaa along with Van Dijk and Tsimikas. I play quite a strong team. I know we play Arsenal the weekend, but I still want to get into the semi-final. I want to try and win every cup we can. Midfield, I would probably, you're probably looking at Curtis Jones and maybe Harvey Elliott.
And Endo. That's who I
Endo, yeah. And up front, I would go along with what Lee said before, with Salah and Nunes on the left and Gakpo in the middle.
What would you say, Lee?
I'd go for Alisson, Trent. I'd go for Konate and Van Dijk, Tsimikas, Endo, Jones and Elliott, because Jones and Elliott are fit. They'll be chomping at the bit. Gravenberch and Szoboszlai look a bit tired and out of form. And I'd go for Nunes, Gakpo and Salah up front. I'd try and win this game, and if we can take players off, if we were that lucky. Basically, I'm just looking to win the game and then use that to bounce into the Arsenal game.
Yeah, and you've got 3 days left till Saturday.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Yeah, but we can't afford to play a weakened side.
Yeah, I don't think we can beat them with a weakened team.
No.
I'm not saying play Jones and Elliott as a weakened midfield.
No.
I think that's a stronger midfield than playing a tired Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. They just didn't look at it against United. So I bring Elliott and Jones in. I think that would be a stronger midfield for the West Ham game, and then take them out for Arsenal.
Well, no disrespect to Endo. When I was looking at it, I thought, this is how bad our midfield is. If he becomes the outstanding midfielder, I'm not being disrespectful to him there, Because
You
we
were
all
saying
know,
when you were having your cup of tea, we were saying, Lee and I, we thought you played quite well at the weekend.
yes,
Endo.
yes. Well, you know, there's no argument. I wasn't being disrespectful. But, you know, the likes of Szoboszlai, the likes of McAllister, the likes of better players than him. And that's
Yeah.
how bad our midfield was. The Awakening Phoenix, he says, do you guys think having Trent doing the inverted thing plays a big role in Szoboszlai's form? I agree with him, actually.
Yeah. There's something going on there. Something going on.
That's a very good
Jurgen
comment.
needs to sort him out because he's not the player at the moment he was a month ago.
No, I don't think Gravenberch and Szoboszlai can play together for some reason. I don't know
Similar
what it is.
players, aren't they? Very similar players.
Very similar and similar roles as well. And don't forget, Szoboszlai's playing out of position as well. And once he starts playing in his rightful, and when McAllister starts playing in his rightful position, you know, I think you'll see a different Liverpool and a different attack, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, we need Szoboszlai back to his best. I mean, Jurgen needs to have a chat with him, find out what the problem is. Because he's not the player. I mean, I've noticed that specifically because he was tremendous, wasn't he? Absolutely brilliant.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And, like, you know, you see him just taking pot shots. And they're not going anywhere. They go flying everything over the bar or well wide.
Yeah.
And, you know, but I say to myself, he is trying. He is trying.
Yeah.
But you can see the frustration in his face.
He must have been frustrated to get taken off.
Yeah. Oh, he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy at all coming off. So, do you reckon that, George, can I just go through these because the lads are commenting like mad here. To me, it looks like Szoboszlai is doing the Endo 2.0 thing. What do you think?
Doing the Endo?
Is doing the. I don't know whether he means. I think he means Henderson, to be honest. You know, trying to play his game. But
I'm not sure I understand that question.
Well, you know, is he trying to play like Henderson? You know, what Henderson did for us. Is he trying to play that game?
It could be right. But I just think he's lost form for a short spell, and that does happen to players sometimes. And they get it back again.
And Brian Early, I agree with you, lads. But my front three would be Gakpo, Salah, and Scott.
I'll get my boots polished up, Brian.
And Arthur Schofield, George, you're right in what you say about the handball inside the box. A pro knows where his arm should be. The VAR showed that it hit his hand. It did. It not only hit his hand, it hit his arm as well. He had his arm out. I tell you what, it was very similar to when we got a penalty in the first minute in the Champions League final against Spurs in Madrid.
Yeah.
Very similar to that. He had his. See, you know, when you see players with their arms around the back, that's where they have to go in now. Because if it hits the hands, you know, you're giving away a penalty. And he never gave the penalty. Yeah. And there was another incident, and it was on Nunes, where he was pushed in the back.
Yeah.
He was pushed in the back, and it was shocking.
Yes.
It was a foul.
The Anfield Road end, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, I think Michael Oliver's crap anyway. That worries you. I think he's great himself, Michael. Soulboy Fran, if it's Endo, Elliott and Jones, we've added roll on January, says Soulboy Fran.
Well, they have the most energy for tomorrow night because Szoboszlai and Gravenberch looked out of energy and Gravenberch went off, didn't he? Limped off.
Yeah. Yes.
We're missing Bashetta and Thiago, aren't we? They're present like in the squad. We ain't got any other midfielders, have we now?
Well, that's what you need tomorrow night. You need energy in the midfield. You need drive and energy. And like Harvey Elliott, he gives that energy and that drive. You need that in a team. You can't just stroll about against these teams.
Mm.
And the Anfield Roar says, I must say hello, guys, with all these pints. You must
I
think
can't, I can't drink for 2 days.
I can't drink. You must think we're all alcoholics. And there's my beautiful woman here. There she is.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Anfield Roar. Hello, it's been a long time. Best wishes and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Great surprise, by the way. Wonderful surprise, by the way. Absolutely. And the weekends, I just feel Gapco, Diaz, Nunes, says Anfield Roar, are just not up to scratch to Firmino and Mane. Now,
For me,
I really want your honesty here, George. I want your honesty because I think that's a cracking comment. The weekend, I just feel Gakpo, Diaz, Nunes are not just up to scratch to Firmino and Mane. What's your honest truth about that?
well, Firmino and Mane, I mean, were exceptions. They've proved themselves to be right at the top of the tree. I mean, we won the championship, we won the European Cup, we won virtually every trophy with those two in the team. Mane was an amazing striker. He was one of those people that every time he got the ball on the edge of the box, you looked like something was going to happen. Firmino was a genius. I mean, he was just a fantastic player. So it was very difficult to replicate those two immediately. You know, you can't take anything away from Diaz and Nunes and Gakpo. They're the current team that's there now, and with them playing among the squad, don't forget we're 1 point off the win. We're 1 point off the top of the Premier League. We've got the best defensive record in the Premier League. We only give 15 goals away, and I think we've got the second best goal scored. So you've got to keep perspective, really. I mean, it's right that we should criticise, and you've got to criticise when criticism is deserved. But you see some things on Twitter and things on Facebook and that, and you see some of the comments that one or two people make, and you just need to find a bit of perspective. Criticise constructively, and let's see what happens. If we beat Arsenal at the weekend with Diaz, with Nunes, and with Gakpo, we'll be top of the league.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your take, Lee?
Look, we just haven't scored many goals in recent matches. That's all it is. It's not the end of the world. It's not that Gakpo, Diaz, and Nunes are atrocious players. They're not. They have got they have got potential. We've seen them score goals. We've seen that they're decent players. We just need them to prove it now, like in the new year and in what's left of this year. So let's just get behind the players we've got. Stop slagging off and overreacting to a few bad performances.
But Lee, this is a problem here because
people saying we should sell Mo and sell Nunes and sell them to who's going to buy Nunes?
Exactly.
Diaz,
No, but this particular dope, what he turned around and said was, if we're offered 100 or 150 million by Saudi, sell them. I thought,
no,
you're not on.
I'm buying.
Just a complete dope, in my opinion. It really is a great dope. And Henderson, the awakened phoenix.
Yeah, what was the question before? Yeah.
Yeah, Henderson. So, do you think that it's affecting though the way he's playing?
Could be.
Do you think it's affecting his form?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it could be because he didn't seem to know where he's playing at the moment.
No.
Whether he's left or right or he's attacking midfielder or I don't know. He just seems a bit lost just at the moment. But I'm sure he'll come good again.
Yeah, of course. And the Anfield Road's Rascon Valley. Well, hello. How have you been? I've missed you. She replies, I'm fine. I've sorely missed you too. Like a book.
We said flowers flying.
Oh no, we've all missed Valley. We've all missed her.
Yeah.
She's been busy, by the way. She's been busy, and as hang on, what does she say here? As you may imagine, time heals all things. Frank is my one and only.
Oh, there you go, Frank. There you go. There you go. Lucky man.
I'm blushed. Actually blushed. Actually blushed now. Anyway, Brian says, Frank, excuse the punt, but you're spot on regarding the penalty Champions League final. And it just reminded me of it. It really
Yeah.
did when it went on as that. I said to you, Lee, that's a penalty, though. And Lee was just sitting there mesmerised. Mesmerised.
Yeah, I thought it was a penalty, definitely. Definitely.
It was weird how quickly they just went over it though, because it did show. I'm 100% certain they mentioned the VAR looked at it, but it was very, very quickly.
Yeah, it was just waved away, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, I think Brian Edley says Jota is our new Bobby.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him in Bobby's class, to be honest. Not yet, anyway. But because Bobby proved himself over a number of years. But he's a brilliant player, Jota, and I think he's really missed at the moment. I hope he gets fit soon.
And the Anfield Roar actually says, we've missed the Anfield Roar ourselves, haven't we?
Yes, absolutely.
I think there was something wrong with in the family. I think his mum was ill, if I'm quite correct. I don't know. I remember him. Anyway, he says, George, Jason, Frank, do you think we lack a link man in the final third like a Firmino? I'm going to you there. I'm going to you, Lee, first. Okay, on this. I think this is very important, this. I just don't think these three new guys are filling holes for two workhorses and example setters. What do you think about that? That's important. That. We haven't got a see. They're trying to make. I should imagine Gapco into a sort of false nine.
No.
You know, like what Bobby was.
Type, yeah.
Yeah, I really believe that. But I feel sorry for Gapco. I don't know whether, if I'm right or wrong, but how many positions has Gapco played?
Yeah.
He's played in loads of positions and he keeps getting dropped and then brought on. I think it's frustrating him.
Yeah. Yeah. Look what happened to Curtis Jones, like we said before. Last year he came in for 10 games and he really blossomed. But Gakpo, you're right, Jack, is in the Frank, he's in the team, he's out of the team. I thought the second half he picked a few wrong passes. A couple of times there was a player wide on the right and he went for a shot. He could have just laid it to him. So just Firmino would have seen that, I think.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But as Brian says, Jota is our new Bobby. And I don't think he is, to be honest, because
I think Gakpo's more naturally suited to that. Out of all our forwards, Gakpo's more naturally suited to dropping off into the midfield.
Yeah.
More so than Jota and Nunes.
Yeah.
And he's a strong runner going forward.
But as Brian Edley says, 5 games and no goals from 4. Missing Salah is a big worry. But you're right, Lee. These lads have the magic in them.
Yeah, well, they proved it. We're up the top.
The entire team and formation is still evolving. He's still tweaking it all the time, isn't he? With the inverted role and the new midfielders and the new attackers and that. It is still a new team, isn't it? And you can see that, you can see it still. It's taking time to work itself out, isn't it?
But that's
Well,
what we've all been saying it all season since since the podcast. That was still gelling.
Mm.
We're still gelling as a team, and that's the way it is. And as George, just keeps reiterating that we are second in the league.
If we can be 1 point off top still in February, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's something for you, George and Lee. Now, be honest again. Be honest again. Do you think that we need a couple of players in January?
Not half.
Yeah, I do. I do think we need a couple of players in because, I mean, as Lee said, we're right up there at the top, but you can't rest on your laurels. And I don't think at the moment, the team we've got in the squad we've got at the moment is brilliant, but I'm not sure they're quite brilliant enough to clinch the top spot. I think we just need one or two more key players just to complete the jigsaw. Yeah.
What I'd go for is a DM, a defensive midfielder. I've been screaming out for it. I've been scared since Ginny left.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. Since Ginny left, I've been screaming for one. So I think we should go for a DM. And also, I've got to say it, a forward.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah, I was just going to say that. I mean, you see, I was reading today, a lot of the clubs are looking around at people like the lad from Villa, Watkins, Tony, when he comes back from his ban. These sort of players, but you're talking 80 million in that area.
Our Francine, George, I'm glad you mentioned him. Francine said, yesterday it was, when I was talking to her, and she said, we should go after Tony. We should go after Tony.
He's a Liverpool fan as well.
And that's what she said. And he's a big red. What better? Yeah. And he's a tall lad, isn't he?
Proven goal scorer at Brentford. How many would you score at Liverpool?
Exactly. What would you say, Lee, about Tony?
Yeah, he's an awkward customer for defenders, isn't he? And he gets his fair share of goals in our side. That'll definitely be increased.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd buy him though.
You got to keep out the betting shops.
Yeah. How long's he suspended for? The rest of the season?
I think he's back before the end of the season. I think
he's back. But it makes no. How old is he? He's about 27, isn't he?
Yeah, mid-20s. Yeah, he's
Mbeumo's good. I think Klopp could do something with Mbeumo. He could mould him into an even better player.
Yeah.
I'll just go through this. And I'm feeling right again. I hate to be harsh, but it's angered me when we never bought Doku, that City bought for our left wing Diaz. Just isn't doing it for me. He keeps running down dark alleys, and that's Diaz, obviously, is Abbey Road talking about.
Diaz the same as Nunes. You need a goal to spark him off. You need a goal, preferably a blinder, preferably a really good.
Well, that's what the forwards are there to do: score goals, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Brian says, Brian Edley, that is, sorry, we are missing Jota. And we are missing Jota. No. And Kenneth Latham, I haven't seen Kenneth for yonks. And Kenneth lives in Bali. He lives in Bali. I had a radio show, right? Well, got a radio show anyway. And we were chatting to him, and he said, would you interview the Bali Beatles? I thought he was messing. I said, the Bali Beatles? He said, yeah. He said, it's a group, the Balians, and they take off the Beatles. And I went, yeah, all right. And this is genuine, this. Because he owns property and bars and whatever, and he was actually playing in his bar. And he said, well, will you come on? Yeah, of course, Anyway, I interviewed him.
You'll like this, Frank. There's a place by mine called the Latham, and the Beatles played there. It's up the road here, the Latham in Seaforth, and the Beatles played it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, can I finish the story? I'll finish this story because I've got Brian Fennell coming on in a moment. Brian. Anyway, he went like that. He says, I says, yeah. Anyway, he had them in there, like this little studio he had. And I was talking to the Barlayan, and this is genuine, absolute genuine, this. And I said to the Barlanian, and I spoke, and he was speaking in like terrible English. I don't think he could understand me, and I certainly couldn't understand him. So I said to Ken, I said, can he play a Beatles song then? And he went, yeah. And you know what? You only had to, that was the radio then. And he just sounded, this is through this, he just sounded like George Harrison. Something in the way she moves. He was singing it. And it was like George Harrison. And I said to Ken, I said, you've got a record on. You're playing a record. He said, that's not the lad. He was brilliant. And he came over to Liverpool, for the Beatle Weekend Festival.
Yeah.
And I seen them. And they were brilliant.
Yeah.
Couldn't speak English, but they could now speak, sing in English, all the Beatles songs. Absolutely brilliant. But there's my mate. There he is. Look at this fella. I love this fella as well.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi, Brian.
Buon Natale, should I say?
Oh, yeah.
Back in the car.
I'm back in the car again, yes.
Yeah. Chiara's threw him out. He's in the car.
Yeah, I'm running some errands, some honeydews. So I thought, let me give a ring and see how things are on your side of the water. So hope all's well.
Brilliant. Yes, absolutely, Brian. Everyone's delighted to see you. Everyone's delighted to see you.
You're on Route 66, Brian.
Oh, sorry?
Are you on Route 66?
I am Route 66. Yes, I am getting my kicks. Yes.
Well, listen,
no,
Brian.
Brian, in Seattle. Go ahead.
No, what we were saying there, we were saying about the midfield, right, against Man United. It was non-existent. So we would say, who we'd pick for the midfield. I don't know whether you were listening to us, but who would your midfield be?
I'd go Sabaz, although I don't know what happened to him. Is he trying to accommodate Trent pushing farther forward or what? But he's been off for the last few weeks. Go Sabaz. McAllister still isn't healthy, is he? Then I'd go with Gravenberch, and let's see. Endo, I don't know. Jones, I don't know either. Gosh, that's a tough one. It really is. You know what? Hey, let's do this then. Let's put Trent in there, and then I'll put Gomez on the right flank. Never thought I'd say that, but something has to happen. Something has to be shaken up.
Yes, something has to, because
something has to give.
On Sunday we were absolutely dreadful, but then again, Trent. I've said this many times, even on different pods. I remember, fans and these journals, and they were saying, "Why don't you move? Why don't you move Trent into midfield? That seems his rightful position." Now, the point of it all is Klopp doesn't like being told what to do. And I think he's stubborn like that. And I think he's got a mindset to say, who are these people to tell me where to play Trent. And I really believe that's what's happened.
Could be right, Frank. You could be right. Could be right.
Agreed.
Very stubborn. He's very, very stubborn man. But then again,
It's like
well, who else was you play alongside Trent and with Gomez? I don't mind Gomez, by the way. I think Gomez has been playing brilliantly as well.
He has been playing well, yeah.
So he can't
yes,
take anything away.
Just waiting for the shoe to drop. I hate to be like this, but Gomez, yeah, he's going to play well. Then I'm just waiting for the other niggling injury to surface, and then he's out for 6 weeks or whatever. But yeah, let's ride that pony while he's healthy. So yeah, Trent at right back, Konate, Virgil, and then oh yeah, Tsimikas. Any other doubters here now? Still want to argue about being better than Robbo?
Yeah, we've been talking about him. We've saying how good he is and how brilliantly he's been playing.
Yeah.
We've been actually saying this. Seems like Brian Headley as Brian. That's because he's controversial. When we're talking about Gomez and he says, yeah, well, we could be playing and out next week, injured for about 6 weeks. And that's the way Claude's going is at the moment. You come in, plays a blinder and out for 6 weeks.
But to go back to Klopp real quick, what you're saying, I mean, it's almost like a variation on that old joke, how do you get Klopp to jump off a cliff? Tell him don't do it. I mean, that's essentially it. You're right. He is stubborn. I mean, God love him. He is stubborn to a T. But we're in second place. So
well, this is what we've been saying. Yeah, I'll see what Anfield Raw says here, and I'll go straight to you, Brian. Frank, George, Jason. I wonder if you agree. Today's football standard is utter awful for wages paid. Right? I think players are work shy, get more perks than any football generation of the past. Would you go along with that? That they're being overpaid, so
Well, it's a different generation, Frank, isn't it? It's a different generation. At the end of the day, the money is much different. You've got the freedom of contract now these days. You've got Sky TV pumping the money in. You've got European competitions. You've got fame around the world. You've got internet around the world. So everybody knows you watch that game at Saturday, probably seen by every country in the world. Millions and millions of people in every continent. Where in my day, for example, when we played, we got 57,000 in Anfield and we got all the big glory in the United Kingdom, but very few people, other than in Britain, knew too much about the English First Division, because it wasn't broadcasting, there was no internet. So, it's a different game. And these guys are making the money now because it's like anything else. If you've got a product and you sell the product, you're the best at your profession, you get paid the big bucks. And I think that's why, the big players like Haaland and people that perform deserve what they get, in my view. But the guys that are sitting on a bench for a season getting 200,000 a week is a bit of a joke.
Yeah, well, it's like Thiago, isn't it? He's been out since last February. Anyway, I'm gonna say this particular comment. I think this is a crack of this, and I'll go straight to you, Brian. Okay. And it says, this is Mark Simons, by the way. Diaz reminds me of Firmino with his languid style and plays the false nine for Colombia like Firmino. Both are great with their head as well. Maybe he is wasted on the wing where he can get nullified. What do you say about that, Brian? He's lost my words.
Let's try it again. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The wonders of modern technology. Okay. I wasn't on a rant and now you couldn't hear me. It's hard to disagree with that one. I mean, Diaz is a great false nine, and the way he's played, he looks like a clone of Firmino. So, Yeah, I'd move him inside, and maybe Gakpo outside, or he still can't play with Nunez. But yeah, I'd at this point, I'd say anything's open. Move him inside to the false nine.
What's your take, George?
Yeah, I mean, well, to me, his strength is in his pace and his trickery, and he's going forward attacking. And that's when he first came into the team. That's where he was so brilliant at. He was really causing chaos in other teams' defences. At the moment, he's a little bit constricted. And he, like we said earlier on in the podcast, he tends to cut inside a bit too much from the wing rather than go down the line. Whether he'd be successful as a false nine, myself, I don't see him as being a typical player like Firmino. Firmino was especially gifted in so many ways, slightly different ways than Diaz, I think, personally. I think Firmino was one of those players which, to me, was almost bordering on genius at times, some of the things he used to come up with. Diaz is a great player, and I think he's going to be a great player for a while for Liverpool. And like we said earlier, he's been performing for most of the season. The last couple of games maybe he hasn't hit the net, but it's all there for the future.
What about your take, Lee?
I think Diaz will find some form again, because there's a lot of people saying that he's washed up, that injury he got away to Arsenal has finished him. I don't see that. I don't see that he's washed up. He will find form again. Just depends how long it takes for me. I didn't know that he does play false nine for Colombia. I didn't know that. I thought he played on the wing for Colombia. Yeah. I don't watch an awful lot of international football these days, so that was news to me. But yeah, I'm just waiting for him to find form again at the moment.
Well, Mark Simons, who put the comments up, he must know, because he wouldn't put us up otherwise.
Yeah.
He wouldn't put us up otherwise. And Stephen Snape, managing expectations is Klopp's job. We've 5 forward players, so rotating players is inevitable, really.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really rotate, does he? He doesn't rotate Mo, and he doesn't rotate Diaz. He just has them all the time. And if, they're filling in the number 9, as a proper forward, that is, he throws Nunez in, or he throws Gakpo in.
Yeah, we've only got 5, haven't we? We've got Nunez.
Yeah.
Well, Jota's fit. You've got Nunez, Jota, Salah, and Diaz, and Gakpo. So that's the only choices you've got at the moment as attacking options.
Yeah. What's your take, Lee?
Well, yeah, he likes to use the subs when he's got all 5 available. He's been using Salah, Diaz and Nunez, hasn't he, more often than not this season, and using Gakpo and Jota from the bench.
I think he's used his substitutes well this season, because a lot of the times we've changed the game by bringing players on at the right time in the game. And that's proved by coming back from 1-0 down for 18 points. We made some brilliant substitutions, Klopp, in my view.
Do you know when he brought Enzo on against Fulham? I'm sitting there and I go, what's he doing? We're trying to win again. I think we're trying to go for a draw, and he brings him up. So what is he doing?
Yeah, we thought that as well, yeah.
With you there last week, I was wondering, the last match against United, I was like, he's bringing on Curtis Jones. Why? What's he doing? Anyway, yeah.
But Lee was saying, he sat with me watching the game, and Lee says in the 60th minute, it's about time Elliott was coming on here, but he left it until 10 minutes, which was miles too late. He could have brought him on in the 60th minute. He could have done something.
Yeah.
Because poor Szoboszlai,
he was off the pace.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Well off. No one knows. Frank George, do you think we still need more goals centrally? I hate to be critical of Nunes, but he just isn't an all-round player for our club and misses more than he will get. George.
Well, he does miss more than he scores. I mean, there's no question he's missed a lot of chances this season. I mean, he's hit the post from point blank range. He's hit the bar from point blank range. He's hit the goalkeeper from point blank range. So he needs to really put the ball in the corner of the net. You know, that's what he's paid. That's what we paid 70 million for, or whatever it was, and that's why he gets the money he gets. He needs to score goals, and I think he will. He's got the potential. He's got the talent, and he's got the pace and enthusiasm. But and I agree, we need more goals from midfield. I mean, a bit earlier in the season, Szoboszlai was banging him in from outside the box. Trent bangs him in from outside the box. But the shooting on Saturday was woeful.
Yeah.
And the final ball in the final third was shocking.
It was.
Absolutely shocking. What do you think, Brian?
That was the main problem. He kept giving it away or choosing the wrong pass.
Yeah, the weight of the passes as well was shocking. Szoboszlai was
we could have played till midnight. We could have played till midnight on Sunday and never scored.
Yeah.
I mean, Mo gave Nunes a great chance at the Anfield Road end. He chipped the ball into the box and he fiddled about with it.
Yes.
In his chest, and he couldn't get hold of it. And then he squared it, and then Diaz couldn't get it in. And Nunes ran away. He ran away to the left. I know where he was going.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's frustrating. Nunes is matting, and a good point, George, what you brought up earlier. Yeah, he should score more goals, but he does create a lot of opportunities still with his pace and his size. I'd say, yeah, just give him a little bit longer. I mean, this is what really is what it's his second year in the league. So I mean, he did show promise in preseason. Stick with him a little bit longer, but I'd say by definitely next year, if he's still like this, then he's got to go.
Yeah.
All right.
It's very, very fine margins, though, isn't it? Very fine margins. If Trent's ball had been 6 inches to the right, we'd have won the game. Probably 3-0.
Yeah.
And
Right.
missed the post by that much.
Yeah. You just see it swerving away, don't you? It's going in, and it just swerves away.
Yeah.
It
You see the disappointment in his face. He knew he should score.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, I asked you for your midfield. Who was you put up as your front three?
Good. Well, Mo, okay, that's a given. Let's see, front three. Nunes just kills me. I really want him to just go on a tear. Keep him on the bench. Jota's still out. Let's go Diaz, obviously. Let's see. Do I put him in the middle or do I put him on the wing? I'll put him in the middle. Put Gakpo on the left side.
Okay.
I'm just shaking things up at this point.
Yeah. See, we've got to play. This is what we've been discussing, Brian. We've got to play a very strong side because we're in the quarterfinal. Next step is a semi-final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of a cup, of the first trophy of the season. So we've got to play a strong side. And on Sunday, we've got the Arsenal game. And if we win the next two games, put it this way, and both at Anfield, and we should win the next two games.
Yes.
At Anfield. So we could be in the semi-final of a cup, one step away from a final.
Yeah.
And we could be top of the league on Monday morning for Christmas.
Absolutely. It's amazing.
For Christmas. Think about that.
And the League Cup's winnable. There's not too many huge teams in there, is there?
No.
Chelsea.
No.
Or Newcastle. That's about it. Is Arsenal still in?
No.
City's out.
Chelsea. aren't they? Yeah.
Everton, Fulham, Chelsea, Newcastle, Middlesbrough, and Port Vale.
Yeah.
I hope we don't draw Port Vale.
As long as it's at Anfield, Frank, I'll be happy.
It's just a strange combination. Port Vale.
Port Vale, yeah.
Those clubs in Port Vale.
They lost their first game this season, 8-0.
Good for them. Good for them.
I'm giving my age away here. Giving my age away. And I was in the cup. I was only a kid. I was in the cup. And I always remember when Swansea were they were in the third division or something like that. And they beat us in the cup. And never forget Ronnie Moran missing a penalty. Never forget that. And another time, I was my uncle Ronnie, and he said to me, he came in the living room. I was sitting there, we were kids, only kids. Uncle Ronnie was, as I said, he was 6 years older than us. And he came in and he went, Liverpool has just been beaten. And George, do you remember this? Worcester City.
Yes.
Beating Liverpool, a non-league side.
2-1, yeah.
And I think there was more in shock, if you know what I mean. Everybody, I think Evertonians were in shock as well.
Yeah.
We never got over it. A non-league side, Worcester City, beating Liverpool Football Club in the cup, in the FA Cup. That's when the FA Cup was magic, by the way. That's when we all had dreams of winning the FA Cup.
Absolutely. Hey, Frank, I've just had a message from my son that Everton and Fulham is penalties.
Go away.
What?
Everton and Fulham. Everton were down 1-0. They've equalised and now they're playing penalties.
Go away.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So who knows how that's going to end.
Fulham as well. Well, don't tell me. Don't.
I won't say nothing else, no. I don't know.
Do you know
I know
what?
we might play them in the next round.
Yeah, well, it's either or, isn't it? If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The Anfield Roar says, I'd love Ivan Toney. He made our team work hard defensively last year at Anfield. And this is what we were talking about.
Yes.
Anfield Roar. We'd like him. We would like him here. But
Yes, we would love Tony here.
He's brilliant. And Arthur Schofield says, the problem is there are no partnerships and boys up front like we've had in previous teams going back to the 80s.
Yeah.
And there are no partnerships. You think about Toshak and Keegan, the Saint.
Dalglish and Rush.
Dalglish and Rush, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no partnerships, unfortunately. But, we haven't got an out-and-out striker. We haven't. We've got a goal scorer. We've got a natural goal scorer in Diogo Jota.
Yeah.
We've got him. But there's no out-and-out proper goal scorer, if you know what I mean, a striker.
You need a 20-goal a season, man.
Well, that's how Mo Salah was our leading
Probably still is.
Scorer for years. And he's a winger.
Yeah.
He's a winger. I'm going to bring J.K. Kismet on here. Are you there,
Hello,
J.K.?
Hello.
Are you there? Oh, yeah.
I'm here.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying there, J.K., I don't know whether you were listening to us. Who would your midfield be tomorrow?
I would go with Endo, Jones, or maybe Elliott, really. I'm not sure. No, actually, Szoboszlai, Jones, and Endo. Yeah.
Okay. Who would your three forwards be?
I'll go with Gakpo on the left, Darwin in the middle, and Salah on the right.
Okay.
It's, I'd rather have. Did you say Nunes on the left?
No.
JK?
Gakpo on the
Gakpo.
left and Darwin in the middle.
I'd rather have Gakpo in the middle and
Okay.
Nunes on the left.
Mm-hmm.
I really would. But that's it's all different opinions.
Yeah.
It's all different, isn't it, George? It's all
Yeah, it
different.
is. Yeah. I like Nunes on the left. I think he could do damage on the left, coming in from the left. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your take, Lee? Nunes on the left, what?
Yeah, that's where I put him for now. Like, why his confidence is low in front of goal. Put him on the wing with his pace. Let him run at players. Let Cozy play in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a good shout.
And Brian Headley says, this is it, George. It's a massive step up from Brentford to Liverpool. I always thought Lallana found it hard, Charlie Adam, etc., and a few more. And this is about Tony, by the way.
You look at it the other way. I mean, if he scores goals with Brentford, which he's prolific. How many more would he get with Liverpool with the team? He'd be raised into a better team. He'd get more chances.
Yes.
But you
I
said
think he'd be brilliant.
Yeah, you should.
I think Klopp has brought him out as well with his gambling and all that,
Takes a good pen, Ivan Tony.
He hasn't missed one, I don't think.
No.
Brian, we were talking, and JK, I'll go to you first, JK. We were talking about possible or needful, I might as well say, needful recruitments in the January window. What's your take, JK?
I would say 2 guys to come in, a midfielder and a centre-back maybe.
Okay.
Andre for the midfield and maybe that guy from Portugal, the one that Arsenal are meant to be after.
Oh,
Thing
yeah.
is, we haven't really seen enough of these guys. They're just names that are being chucked around. So hopefully there may be someone because in January Liverpool always surprise the fans with the signing. So,
but I've watched this, Andre, and it reminds me so much of Mascherano, and he's more or less the same size as well.
Yeah.
He's like a bull. I think he'd be a perfect fit for Liverpool Football Club. I really do. Brian, what's your take on recruits and or one recruit in the January window?
Well, what I said earlier. So it's Andre was from Brazil. Is he coming for sure? Okay, so that's a done deal.
Well, I was told, Brian, months ago that it was a done deal. I was told that it was done and dusted.
Okay, well, when he holds a shirt, I'll believe it. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like the Bellingham one. I'd love I'd love him. He's brilliant. I've seen him playing against us a couple of weeks ago. Fabulous. Go ahead, Brian.
That was a huge mistake not getting Bellingham, but spilt milk. I'd go center back definitely. With Mata out and Gomez just again. Anyway, another center back. And if we could make a move for Tony or make another move for another just 20 goal scorer, just a pure forward, just someone to knock in goals. Yeah, I'd make that move.
Yeah,
so
I would.
That would be my 2 moves.
Yeah.
Lee?
I'd really like a central defender still. I'd like Andre still as well. I got really excited about the potential signing of Andre and watched as many videos of him as I could. And he looks like what we need. But it sounds like we're not buying him now. But it's still like this left-sided centre-back.
But we've all been screaming. We've always been screaming out for a left-sided centre-back.
Yeah, we haven't had a left. Yeah, we've not had a left-footed centre-back for a long time, have we? Who was the last left-footed centre-back we had? Sakho, wasn't it? Mamadou Sakho was the last left-footed centre-back we had, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Was it Kabak? Come on, Kabak.
Kabak wasn't bad. yeah.
I think he was right-footed though, Kabak.
I'll tell you what's frightening. I'll tell you what's frightening me about incoming recruits was when Klopp turned around and said we're bringing back Nat Phillips because Nat Phillips he hasn't made it at Celtic. He hasn't made it.
Let him go.
I just hope it's not the case that he's going to, or we're going to rely on that. I really don't. And he's injured as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't think that's a possibility. We've got Kwanzaa there, haven't we?
I just don't know.
Yeah, Kwanzaa.
Yeah, Kwanzaa's brilliant.
He's never put a foot wrong, that lad. I mean, he's fantastic. What a prospect.
No, he's strong, isn't he? He's tall, he's strong. He's not afraid to get stuck in.
Like a mini Van Dijk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If we were to get an injury, though, to Ibu or Virgil, our title challenge would die embarrassingly on its anus, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And this is what we've got to be afraid of. But as you said, Lee, I'd love a defensive midfielder. I've been screaming out for one now for a couple of seasons. I'd love a forward now. I don't, especially with Mo going and young Doak is injured.
Yeah,
he's injured. He's got a bad injury. So we could be lacking, and we've got like Jota. All right, Jota's coming back, but we're losing our lead. Yeah, we're losing the ace man. We're losing him in the AFCON. Yeah. And he could be out till the end of February.
Yeah, that could be the difference between winning a league and not winning a league, having a man up front that can score the goals.
Yeah. And we can't rely on kids as well. The kids, unfortunately, are not good enough. We would have given young Doak a chance. But could he have lifted Liverpool to that level? Young Doak, on a 17-year-old, 18-year-old.
His time's to come. He's young. He's got lots of time.
Yeah, of course. But, it's not. They did it to Batatic last season when all the heaviness, was all the injuries, and they brought this kid, and I'd never even heard of him. And look at him now. He's been out for months. And the people say growing pains. I don't believe in all that growing pains. I'm not being funny. I know Steven Gerrard, but he wasn't out for months. He was out for about 4 weeks. With that growing pains or something else.
Well, tell you what, that never affected me. That never affected me, Frank, because I never grew. That's my problem. I'd about 50 caps if I'd got another 3 inches on my head.
Hey, George, like going back to your day under Shanks and that, was there any other player, who was out for growing pains?
No, never. No. That didn't exist. I've never heard anything like it. I don't think there was you get a player out with a broken ankle or something for about 2 months, 3 months. Cruciate ligament was very serious if you had a ligament injury, because that was, the treatment wasn't as advanced as they are today. So that was quite a long injury. That's the one that put me out of the game at Aberdeen. But, there's, we never had injuries like that. We never had somebody like Thiago out for a season without any explanation. If your hamstring heals, a pulled muscle heals, I can't understand it, where those injuries come from. I know the game is faster now, but by the same token, the conditions are better.
Well, you know, we were talking about Tony before, and Soulboy France said that would be the end of Nunes if we signed Tony. He's 27 as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't say it'll be the end of Nunes. I mean, end of the day, different type of players.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, of course. Of course. Let's see what these are saying. Alfred, why isn't Trent into midfield already? We were awful midfield-wise. As soon as he got into midfield, he sprang into life. I'm not caring for Jurgen, not liking it anymore. And, you know, this is what we've been saying. This is what we've been... And Mark Simon says, get Conor Bradley at right back versus West Ham. The lad was voted Bolton's best player of last season at 19 years of age. If he is good enough, he's old enough.
Yeah, that's true.
But is he... I know... I don't know.
Trent wants to play in midfield. I saw an interview with him the other day. He said, that's where I want to finish up. A more natural midfield player. He wants to play there, from what I read in that interview.
Brian says, hit the likes, Frank. For Frank. Yeah. Hit the likes, people. Thank you.
Yeah.
And as Anfield Ross says, you know, good point, Mark Simons on Diaz's point. Absolutely. Darryl Murray's with us. And let's see what the Awakened Phoenix, what a name, right? The Awakened Phoenix. How we play is with a false nine system. It's very easy to see that the midfield isn't connecting well with the front line. We need better coaching and tactics to get the best out of our players. George.
Well, I mean, I keep going back to what I said before, and it sounds a bit repetitive, but we're 1 point off the top of the Premier League. The coaching can't be that bad. We've got the best defensive record in the Premier League. 15 goals we've given away. You know, so the facts are the facts, you know, and it's easy to be... This game has frustrated all the Liverpool fans. Every one of us were absolutely bursting at the seams with frustration. But I think we should look behind... It's gone now. It's behind us. Now we start thinking about West Ham and Arsenal, the big one on the weekend, because that's the big one, Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I think we can beat them at Anfield.
Okay. I'd try Diaz in the middle.
Go on.
I'm
sorry, go on.
No, we'll go back to what you're saying, but let's just get Soulboy in here. I'd try Diaz in the middle while Jota is not ready and play Cody on the left, where he started his career. Should have tried that on Sunday. And that's what Soulboy France says. What was your saying there, Brian?
I would say I agree. I mean, we talked about playing Diaz in the middle because he's a little more active. And just to go back to a point I mentioned earlier, I said he was a clone of Firmino. I think it's the work rate, his activity, his disruption up front. I'd say it was almost a clone of Firmino. But anyway, I would say I'd go ahead and give Diaz a shot up front. We have to do something to just to get more goals. I know, as George said, we're in second place, but we are missing a lot of opportunities. I mean, that was the game last week. That was just a ridiculous missing that many shots. Or so I'd say something just a little wrinkle, something just to shake things up. So move Diaz to the middle and and Gakpo on the left side or something. Just to again see what we can create, because Salah's going to do what Salah does. He's not a problem.
Well, Darryl Murray says he'd have Elliott, Salah and Gakpo. He'd have obviously Salah in the middle, Elliott on the right and Gakpo on the left. How about that little trio?
What does he mean up front?
Yeah.
Yeah, up front.
Elliott, Salah, Gakpo.
Yeah, well, I don't think Harvey
on the right
a striker, is he?
No. But he's putting them out on the right wing, Darryl, and Salah in the middle and Gakpo on the left. And he doesn't want the other fella Nunes there.
I'd like to see Elliott start on against West Ham.
Stevie Anfield Raw, he comes out and says also, has the modern footballer forgotten how to get to the byline and bloody cross the ball into the box? Time and time again, these inside forwards or wingers fail to deliver crosses. This is why we rely on the likes of Robertson. Now we're relying on Tsimikas, but Tsimikas does get that ball in. He does cross that ball, and the brilliant balls as well. And that's why we were relying, going back last season before, the likes of Robbo and the likes of Trent, and the more assists. The assists those lads had was amazing, and that's with the crosses. So we haven't forgotten how to. But mind you, I think it's more. Look who's here. Miss you all, lads.
Mario's.
Hopefully, tomorrow without a problem. I can't imagine the atmosphere if we get eliminated. It's a crucial game for the psychology of the team. Let's hope for a win. No injuries.
Yeah, spot on, Marius.
Yes.
It's right, though, isn't it? He's so that this is what we've been saying. We've got to play a strong team. We really have. I'll go to you, George. Then I'll go to Kismet, JK. I keep forgetting about him because he's down there. He's down he's not up in the gods like you lot. He's down there, where the riffraff are, as they say. JK, do you think that we should play a strong side and, and forget about against Arsenal, if you know what I mean? And just hope that there's no injuries and no fatigue. I'm fed up with this terminology, fatigue, by the way.
Yeah.
These lads play 90 minutes of football. They're finely tuned athletes. And all of a sudden, they're tired.
Yeah.
I can't make that out. I cannot make that.
Yeah.
What would Shankly say about that, George?
No, I mean, it's just ridiculous. You're between 20 years of age and 25, you're in the prime of your life, in your condition, training, almost like a Marine, and, there's no way you should be fatigued between Wednesday and Saturday. We always play 2 games a week. We play Saturday, Wednesday, Wednesdays all the time, muddy conditions, sort of all weathers, and nobody I ever met and played with was fatigued. Shankly would never have accepted you being fatigued. Not in a million years. Fatigue, son, fatigue. It's a big word, son.
It's like when he called, he'd never missed a game in about 2 or 3 years. Chris Lawler came in, living. He said, he's a malingerer. He's a malingerer.
He missed 2 games in 7 years. He has that bloody malingerer, Lawler.
He's a malingerer. That's absolutely. Oh.
Yeah, Gordon Wallace was injured. He said his walking stick had been sold and healed twice. He said his walking sticks had more operations than him.
Wow.
Yeah, but he didn't like injured players, Bill. But the problem in those days, though, the main treatment was injections, cortisone injections, and that healed it to be able to play. But in later life, you got the bad arthritis and stuff. That's the problem, They get you playing again, and paid the price, those boys.
Well, Daryl Merries said, Andre is going to Fulham. We are out of the race, being confirmed. So, are we getting
Paulina?
Because as Daryl says, Inacio and Paulina, we will romp the league. What do you think? What do you think, Brian? If we say like Inacio and Paulina, what would you say?
That would be good. Paulina in the mid, yeah, that would be very good. I wouldn't call it a consolation, but yeah, that would be a very good move for the club. Ignacio, yes, that would be good as well. So I still want a forward though. Still want someone just to. All they do is just maybe Jota's a guy, but I want someone there who can or will consistently knock in the sitters, knock in the easy ones.
Yeah. I would break the bank to go for Tony. I mean, that would show intent
Yes.
by FSG. Would show the serious. I mean, kick Chelsea and kick Arsenal and get them out of the way and say he's coming to Liverpool, and he's a Liverpool fan, and get him up here. That's what I would do. I'd do everything possible to get that lad up here.
Yes.
I would. Darryl says here as well, tomorrow's team: Alisson, Gomez, Quansah, Tsimikas, Jones, Elliott, Trent, Gakpo, Salah, Nunes.
You're a man short there, Darryl. I do that sometimes. I do that sometimes.
You reckon we'll win with 10 men?
3-3-3. Okay.
Yeah, he must think that we play better with 10 men.
10 men. Like Newcastle.
And as it says, though, Diaz, Sabozzo dropped, both need a break. And Mark Simons, Tyler Morton is balling out at all. We could always bring him back. That's Tyler Morton.
But it's Hull.
Yeah, Hull. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, yeah. I mean, he maybe it's just a good fit for him there. Let him play it out.
As Darryl says, though, we can't rely on Salah forever. He's coming to the end of time for us.
Yeah, well, we don't have to rely on him forever. We have to rely on him for this season and possibly next season.
And the Anfield Roar says, breaking news, Frank. You've got all the little asterisks.
Yeah.
Kaiser had growing pains for about 4 years.
I literally got stuck in bed.
That's cold.
Yeah, it's cruel.
That is cold.
You say play a strong side, but Saturday is more important than the Mickey Mouse Cup.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're both important. But yeah, he's right. It is more important in one way, but they're both important.
Both of them are important because, as Klopp said, he wants to win this. He wants to win this. So what would you say, J.K. Kismet? What would you say? Would you say, play a strong side or a weakened side to concentrate on Saturday? Is it when are we playing Saturday?
Mm-hmm. Saturday, 5 o'clock, 5:30, I think.
What would you say, Kismet?
Oh, do we lose him?
Yeah, must have done.
Yeah, lost him.
Must have done.
Okay.
But it makes no difference. We can play a strong side without, say like Virgil, for example. If you want to rest Virgil and Konate, those two, we can always bring in Quansah and Joe Gomez because Joe Gomez is, centre back. So, that's strong. That's strong. Tsimikas, he can run for about 40 years. He's just a run. He's very fit.
I told you.
I really don't see the point of us playing a weakened side and then having to bring players on if we're losing or whatever, because we don't want to get beaten, go out, because then our confidence is going to be dented. So if we play in a weakened side and then we have to bring players on to ensure we don't get knocked out, it's not a good thing. We might as well just play a side that's going to go through anyway. It's going to be capable of going through anyway.
Well, Fulham won on penalties.
No.
So
7-4.
Yeah. So Everton are out, unfortunately. So Darryl says, right, he's I said that team, haven't I? What he put out. Kanate, Kwanzaa, Gomez,
Yep.
like, and Semikas. Elliot, Trent, Jones, Salah, Gakpo, Nunes.
Yeah. I think you will play a strong team because West Ham will.
Yeah. Are you there, JK? JK?
No.
No, so it's a shame. That's a bloody shame. And as Soulboy says, and he's. But can you see FSG spending over 100 million in January?
No.
I can't.
No.
I really can't. I really can't.
Unless you can sell somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know people will be saying sell Nunes, sell
Thiago.
Thiago, yeah.
Yeah.
Thiago. God blimey. And this is what people are saying. Some fans are saying, can't wait for him to come back. So what? He's been out. He's had 30 minutes since 30 minutes
9
play
months. 9 months.
since last February. He came back in the March or the April, and he played 30 minutes and went up injured.
Amazing.
From last February, that is. And I'm talking about last April or March or April. 30 minutes, and all right, say he's fit now. He wouldn't be match fit. It takes a long time. There's Gravenberg trying to get back to fitness because he missed last season.
He's injured as well, isn't he? Didn't he pull a
Yeah,
muscle?
he's injured, yeah. But it's not serious at all. It's not serious at all. And as Darryl says there, I'd pack Thiago's bag now, Frank. You know my take on this. Yes, I do.
Yeah, Darryl, I'm fitter than him.
It's just absolutely. It's like Brian says there, getting these new boys around the trophy lifting side sooner rather than later won't do any harm. Absolutely.
Yeah. The fans want to go to Wembley again.
All right, I'm going to ask now, lads, for the prescription. Say for the prescription.
That's right.
I'm used to all these tablets.
Be to the doctors too much.
And that's Angel there. This is one of our Angel, 1968 Abel. He says Graven is an injured. He had fatigue. So, okay, prediction time. Prediction time. JK, I'm going for a prediction off you. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here now, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good man.
Major Tom's here. Major Tom.
Major Tom.
JK, can we have a prediction, please?
I would say 2-0 tomorrow and 2-0 for Saturday.
Say that again.
I would go for 2-0 tomorrow and then 2-0 on Saturday. Yeah. I think tomorrow we need to play a good starting lineup and then after 60 minutes take Salah off or whoever. But we need to go out tomorrow because at the end of the day, if we win tomorrow, we're in a semi-final. So it's a bit of an important game. Absolutely. And then for Saturday, and if Darwin can get a goal tomorrow, get him ready for Saturday. Or Diaz, whoever's playing tomorrow up top. One of them, they have to get some goals tomorrow to get ready for Saturday. So tomorrow's a bit of an important game all around for me.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, though. That's it. Yeah. Go along with that. George.
Yeah. I think I go along with this JK's prediction for tomorrow, I think 2-0 is a good shout. I think Saturday, I would probably a bit tighter. I think maybe 2-1 for us. 2-1.
2-1.
It could be a tight game.
Okay, Lee.
I'm going to go 2-1 for tomorrow. I think an own goal will be the one that decides it in our favour.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Darryl Merry says 2-2 and we win on pens.
I'd be happy with that.
I'd be happy.
Yeah.
So would I. So what are you saying, Brian? What's your predict?
I was just going to say 3-2 extra time.
Isn't it? Have we got extra time? Did they play extra time?
Extra time now, isn't it?
Time. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they have extra time. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And penalties if there's no.
Oh, I hate penalties.
I
Yeah,
think
right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
it's been great to see you. Oh, there's no extra time, says Darryl Merry. Been great to see you, Brian. Honestly, it really has.
Yeah.
Likewise, thank you. It's great to see you guys.
Looking well.
Sorry, I had some things in the back going on, but we won't get into that now. But yeah, but it's great to be back here with you lads. So thanks.
Good to
If
see
you have to
you.
go in his car, and you know what? It's winter there in Seattle. It'll be freezing.
Seattle. So Seattle sound.
Oh yeah. Our liquid sunshine, as you can see here. Yeah, it's raining. It's cold.
Yeah. What time is it over there?
It's 2:15.
In the afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be dark if it was night, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, it gets dark around 3:30 here. So yeah, it gets dark.
The umpire road says 2-1 versus West Ham and 1-0 on Saturday versus Arsenal. That's the umpire road. That's his prediction. And,
I hate that. We're 1-0 up, but it's about 10 minutes to go. Oh.
Yeah,
those white knucklers, yes.
And the umpire road says, "Great show, Frank, George, Lee, Brian." Isn't that lovely? Thank you so much, umpire road. And,
thank you.
Darryl Merry says, "Brian, you look like Uncle Phil, Fresh Prince."
Oh, thanks.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Thanks, Daryl. In West Philadelphia. Well, yeah, no, thank you. Yeah.
Shall we ban Darryl then or what? JK, thank you so much for making it. It'd be great if you could come on Thursday as well.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Should be cool.
So
getting a new internet in, so yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, JK, that'll be absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
To have you on Thursday. Brian, can you make it this Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Yes, I'll make it Thursday. Yes.
Excellent.
And I'll be in my home then. Yes, not in the car. So.
Look at this, fella, Darryl. I'm on Thursday. I'm on Thursday.
Hey, you're okay. I can't make it.
No, I know it's yours. You're out with the lads with your bottles of scotch. We all know about you anyway. So. But I'll tell you what. What does that to say? 3-1 and 2-1. He says that's his, Arthur Schofield says that. And I'll be seeing Darryl, I'll be seeing Lee, I'll be seeing JK, and I'll be seeing that wonderful man Brian there, on Thursday. And we can be talking about whatever,
If Arthur's prediction is right, it would be a great Christmas for us, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Listen, I'm going out on it. I'm going with Francine. Going out. I always take it out for a traditional Christmas Eve drink. But with Christmas Eve falling on the Sunday, we're going out on Saturday. So if anybody's in town, it'd be great to see you. And if you're in town anywhere, George, with the lads, on Saturday. You know, it'd be fantastic to see you. It'd be
Yes.
fantastic. Or anyone out there on the oh, that's nice. Anfield Road. Thursday, it says, I look forward to it. Fantastic. Not lovely. Not lovely.
Right.
Lovely. And Frank's getting Frank's getting a seat. What's that? Piss off. I'm not reading that. But anyway, it's just from George.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you so
I'm going to go now and have me Holic.
Um,
Yeah, likewise.
I want to wish Brian a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Same to you, Lee. Have a good
Same to you,
Christmas,
George.
family.
Enjoy.
And especially you, Frank. Thanks for everything. Been a great year.
No,
and
thank you.
let's hope we keep good health next year and we'll be celebrating a good win in the weekend. Yeah.
Thank you so much, George.
Right.
See you
Take
in the
care.
new year, my friend. Thank you.
Bye, boys.
Cheers. He's lovely. Thank you, George.
I have to drop as well. Sorry, but we'll see you Thursday.
Yeah,
Okay.
you definitely come Thursday. What about you, Lee?
Yeah, I'll see you
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. And you, JK,
Take care.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Fine, man.
And as Darryl says, love you, boys. And the Anfield Roar says, Happy Christmas, George. Thank you so much. And Lee, I'll see you on Thursday.
Okay, mate. Cheers.
Is that okay with you? I might give you the
Yeah.
ring. I might give you the little ring later on. Okay. What did you
Okay,
think of the
mate.
show today? What did you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, mate. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, very much so.
Arthur Schofield says, goodwill to all, my best guys. Isn't that lovely? Thank you so much, Arthur. And listen, everybody, I'll be seeing you all on Thursday anyway. I'll be seeing you all because there's a pod on Thursday, so it'll be a post-match of the West Ham game and also a pre-match of the Arsenal game. So let's hope that'll be a good one. Hey?
Yeah.
JK, thank you, mate. See you Thursday.
Thank you, man. Okay, sure.
See
And
you
good to
Thursday,
see Valley. Say hello to her, yeah?
Say that again.
Good to see Valley, yes? Is it? From,
The Valley,
US?
yeah,
She
yeah,
hasn't
she
seen her in
was
a while,
there.
so
She
good
was
to see her.
she just popped in, to
Have a
say
good
hello.
day and look forward to the game tomorrow, Lee, as well, bro.
Yeah, thank you. And you look forward to the game soon. And I'll see you on Thursday, JK. Okay.
Okay, safe, bro. Ciao.
See you later. Ciao. Shiva di amo. That's lovely, that. Oh, Valley, there she is. Merry Christmas. Isn't that lovely? JK was asking about you, Valley. JK. He was asking about you. Everyone was, I never told you that they used to ask about you. Where's Valley? Anyway, you're here now, and it's great. I want you to be the moderator on this particular podcast. That'll be fantastic. And she loves Liverpool. I've got her something there, Lee. I've got a Champions League final programme with Mo Salah's autograph.
Oh, the programme, yeah. Oh, nice one.
Did I show you it?
No.
No, I never showed you it, did I? So I've got her that, and she'll be made up with that. I know she will, because she loves Mo Salah. Like me little granddaughter at the time, Sophia, her mother said to her, tell your granddad who's the best Liverpool player and who you love in the team. And she said, Mo Salah. Mo Salah, absolutely priceless. Absolutely priceless. Anyway, Lee, thank you so much.
And you, mate.
Thank you on Thursday. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure, mate. See you
But
around.
we'll have to sort out a proper day for the film and TV review.
Sound, yeah.
But I don't want to do it of an evening. I need a break of an evening, so we'd have to have it of a day. So we sort out a proper day. Is that okay at a proper time? You know, for the people. But they all come on and start talking about football. We never got anything out.
What a thing to do. What a thing to do.
Yes, of course, of course. And just a big thank you to you all out there. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for your wonderful comments and respectful comments, by the way, which is absolutely brilliant. And Brian Headley says, 1917, watched it last night. Brilliant, lads. Yeah. Another war one. Yes. But anyway, thank you so much, and I'll see you all on Thursday. I hope Valley will be joining us as well. Okay, and Lee, see you Thursday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that's me. That's me for the night. And I'll see you all on Thursday, as I said. Thank you.